Yeah. Well, anyway, I was just having a conversation on why are we having problems when the white guys, have got it more worked out, as they say, right? And that's racist. Now, people who just got it worked out have it worked out. Right? No one's white, no one's black. Color is in void when it comes to human race. We all come in all colours, all shapes and sizes and all that, but we prick and bully on it as we're immature in that sector collectively, which is sad. But that's a whole other connection we're still trying to do all around the world. Right? Not only are we not connected in countries with old cultures and stuff, we don't connect all around the world. Right? And so what we need to do is we need to go higher, because if we can go higher and the more people we can connect to there and get connected, then we can work our way down to the little bits, right? Down to the little culture issues and little ties. But first, you usually always got to go higher when there's a big issue. Now, when it comes to the Aboriginals here, we've given them land back. We've given them rights to go on that land with a minimum of human rights. So that means if they can't look after themselves, then we can come in and get them on the basic rights. So they can be dumb, but they need to know the basics. Means if they're going to go out there and be Aboriginals again, which is fine, which is what they want to do, right, and restart and start from the start, they're going to have to know before they go out there, redo their culture, find out what medicines they need to look after themselves. So before you go, I want to be on a land and do this, you got to be what parents would say before you leave home, independent. Otherwise, you'll be independent, but you need your mummy to come and wash your clothes. You need your mummy to support you financially every now and then, as you're still learning and you've failed, as you're not independent yet. And that's why we try to get our kids through college and certain areas to try to get them independent on the basic things of life. We don't care about that they couldn't get a yacht in time and all the bonuses. Parents and everybody only worry about when they can't look after themselves or they've got enemies that are getting them and they need help with that as they can't do it themselves. And that's why we have connections, because sometimes enemies come with friends already, right? And can already bully you in certain areas like lawyers and money and all sorts of things in this world. And so when it comes to the Aboriginals, they've gone out there and they're doing their thing, as we've gotten a lot of history and news about since we've done this. And they just be their old ways. And we didn't tell them to go back and be your old way and just be that. Otherwise, you won't connect with us. You'll be asking for a lot of help. We'll have to watch you die from diseases, as otherwise we'd have to come in with our own heart. And we could, but we might have troubles as nature gives us tests and all sorts of tests ourselves, and we might not have support. But if you're nice enough and we believe you're cute and all wonderful, like we have pets, which is sad, isn't it? We will come in and donate and give you. But otherwise, you better get your shit together, because that's what you wanted, right? Like when they asked, does Australia want to just be independent, right? And we vote for it. And then we do. And when we do, we better get our shit together. Otherwise, it will backfire, doesn't it? You haven't got your shit together. When you run off from home, you realise the truth and you want to come back. I've even done the call where I went, hang on, I did leave at the wrong times. I've learnt something. I want to know if you've learnt something and can we reconnect? But it didn't happen when I tried, right? Which is stories I've talked about when it comes to problems we have in life. And so when it comes to the Aboriginals, all they really need to do is they get to that part, prove they're independent and everything. If I was the leader and they go, you want this and this and that, I'll go, well, this is what you got to do. Come independent, show yourselves as a collective that you can do what you need to do, that you can live with your Aboriginal ways and do that, or you can blend your Aboriginal ways with our ways. We're happy to do that. That's what connection is blending. And if you're happy, we can blend some of your ways with our ways. We're happy to do that, but we need more, right? And we need people to work. We don't want people to get more for less. We want people to do more to get, right? To make sure. We want that saying there. What do you reckon? And we get the Aboriginals to show they're independent. They have a village, a place to stay. We re-get them going, right? We want to apologise. This is all we have to do. We've given them land. They've got the land. Now we just got to give them a town to spread. They can show they're independent. They can show they can be just like someone coming from overseas, which is what I've talked about when it comes to immigration, right? They can show they can look after themselves, then why not be there? The land's doing nothing. And then they'll start profiting and they'll buy in your market and become part of you as they prove themselves. But you don't want ones that come over here and just get on Centrelink and be on a system where they have to, and that's all they're going to get because there's no jobs for other people. You wouldn't want immigrants, right? That's when you go, no, no, our economy is screwed. We're screwed. How can we support others when we're screwed, right? So that's true. So if your economy, you can't even look after yourself, why bring some in? That's true. But once you know you've got things right in the house, you can just keep bringing them in. Just keep bringing them in. You've got the land there. Right? You've got a spot you need to fix up. Come here, fella. Come here. That's what I'll be saying. Come here. I've got some desert over there, right? You want to come to Australia, right? You got a couple of little priorities. Here you go. I'll have you on an island. Check you out. You can prove yourself on an island for a little while. Then you get to come to Australia. 100% facts. If you do this, it's not a lie. Like they did in the armies about the black people. If they go fight, they got freedom and shit, and they didn't. And slaves and stuff. You know that. You know the game that always plays. They can't just stick to the truth. There's always someone going, I'll pay you not to do it. I don't like that fella. Yeah, I'll pay you not to like him. Just that could start chaos. Right? And people shouldn't take that. And you've got an economy and people go, oh, yeah, I'll take that. Well, there's your weakest link. Right? And so what we do is we get along. They get their little city, little town going. There's already places out there. We abandoned towns for all sorts of reasons. Right? Show them they're independent. They can all go there. Then they can say to themselves, everyone come to here. If you've got a problem, come from the bush to here. We'll sort you out. We'll get you your land. Look at all this land in your block. You show us your plan. Here's all these plans. We're in a world today where we've got too much that we need. Definitely we get rid of these robots. Gives us humans all a way to connect and rebalance things before the robots take us over us all. Right? But anyway, that's a whole big conversation. So good luck to us out there, I say, and good luck to the Aboriginals, I really do. Because to get anywhere when it comes to real things out there and when we work together has to be a collective thing. And if it's not, you know what we all say in the background in the end? The good old castle line. Tell them they're dreaming. That's why the voice didn't work. Tell them they're in their dream. Look, we just showed, right? As the priorities weren't right in the first. Anyhow, have a good one. And you let me know in comments what you think about that. And is that a good way of starting, not only with the Aboriginals, but with other cultures? Other cultures are a little ahead. I know the Indian, African, and not African Americans, I was going to say, but they're another little. They're African Americans are just like Taiwan. Here's another thing I want to chuck out while we get to one here. African Americans, I should have talked about it, but the things I hold back, but put some out now because I believe if you put out information that is good, people can twist it and screw it up. Just ask Kamala, right, when I was talking about being something different at the wrong time, right, and expecting something at that time that can backfire. Right? When it comes to the African American, they were slaves, right? And the Americans giving them their own power back. You can go check out what the Americans did for the African Americans to be free and different, as they are different now. And over evolution, you can see the difference between their bodies and the way they act and think to the Africans. There's a whole study about it, right? And it's fact. In different areas, you become different, you adapt, you become lighter, you've got a different gene in you, and so on. And so they've become their own culture now, right? And so their own collective, their own ways of all being. They're all similar, they're all mostly in the hood. That's their thing. They're trying to work things out too. They've got the hood, right? That's how I see it with the African Americans. And then you got the Indians, and they've got their flock of lands and their spiritual things and their casinos and other things like that. They've got a town that they can go to and reculture up, which is what they're doing slowly. And it's up to them to do that as well. But Aboriginals can catch up to that pretty quickly so they can start to maybe interact each other on how they can reconnect into the Western culture that does all the technology, as you see, and does all the cool phones and comes up with the ideas. You need scientists, right? So in those sectors, the more scientists you can get with education of how they grow up. So they grow up around things, and every person thinks differently on how they played and growed up. That's what makes us different. Right? And you can do the same thing. Aboriginals will do the same thing. They grow up in a new way of thinking, being, and then you'll see in 20 years' time, 30 years' time, from there, things take time, that there'll be scientists and other things in your culture and the way they think about it and their perception. Right? And anyway, we're going to leave it there. Have a good one and see you later.